1.
Welcome to the Alfond Inn here on the campus of Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida, just outside of Orlando. The Alfond Inn, named after a pair of Rollins College graduates who made their fortune with the Dexter Shoes Corporation up in Maine, of all things. Well, they went to Rollins College and developed this great interest in contemporary art, and their collection of contemporary art is on display at the Rollins College Art Museum, as well as here in the lobby and throughout the hotel at the Alfond Inn. And when I say contemporary art, I'm talking big-time contemporary art. This is Jaune Quick to See Smith, one of my favorite contemporary artists. Flathead Reservation, Montana Native American artist. But you've also got Mehretu, and we'll see here in just a minute, Tracy Emin, Marcus Jansen, Hank Willis Thomas, Nicole Eisenman, some of the biggest names in contemporary art, have pieces here at the Alfond Inn. And Rollins College and the Alfond Inn use this as a teaching opportunity. They bring students in here, they take tour groups through here, because this is genuinely museum quality art. This isn't good art for a hotel. It's not hotel art, it's not prints, it's not some local photography. This piece right here and the Mehretu piece we're going to look at in just a minute could proudly hang in any art museum in Florida. This piece is titled Where Do We Come From 1. It's a 2001 painting. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? That obviously references a famous painting by Paul Gauguin of the same title. That picture is actually at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. I've had the great opportunity to see that painting, Paul Gauguin's arguably most prominent, most famous, best painting up in Boston, and this is a piece which takes off of that one. Where do we come from? Obviously, United States of America here. Where does America come from? It's indigenous people, Native Americans, tying back to Flathead Reservation, Jaune Quick to See Smith. What are we? What are we as Americans? Where are we going? One of the things I always find remarkable, this painting has a feel like it could have been done last week to address the issues and conversations in America around indigeneity, around minority voices, around white nationalism, around Trump, around white supremacy. This was painted 20 years ago. So it shows to me how ahead of the curve, at least ahead of my own awakening, these artists were to the major problems of American society today. This, I'm filming this on September 12th of 2021. The 20th anniversary of 9/11 would have been yesterday. And when this painting was made back in 2001, America was wrapped up in terrorism and looking outward and the dot-com bubble. And this is an artist who at that time was forecasting the conversations we'd be having 20 years later. What was really important? Where do we come from? How was this country colonized? How were the indigenous people? What are we? How are the indigenous people subject to a genocide? Where are we going? Where are we going? How could she have imagined Trump 20 years ago? Or maybe she did. Perhaps to her, a patently white nationalist, racist demigod coming to the forefront of American politics was not a long shot, but an inevitability. And in very politically charged artwork like this from Jaune Quick to See Smith, I recognize how ahead of the game artists habitually are, and how as a person, as a citizen, I should be looking more to artists for my political commentary and perspective, really, than anywhere else. Jaune Quick to See Smith, Where Do We Come From? 1 here at the Alfond Inn on the campus of Rollins College. And now we're going to move out of the lobby area down a hallway here. Come to this fabulous Jaune Mehretu. Jaune Mehretu may be the most prominent contemporary artist working in the world today. Epigraph Damascus. Now try and get right up close here, because this is it's photogravure, sugarlith aquatint, spit bite aquatint, open bite, penamule butane, 350 grams or grain, 2016. So what you've got, and I don't have the chops to know what any of that means, but you've got a print here which has multiple layers, and you can see this kind of tracing, almost like architectural blueprints in the back. Incredibly fine lines, great detail, and then over top of it we see more of this mark making that we are able to recognize as Jaune Mehretu from her enormous paintings that are in top contemporary art museums all over the world. It is definitely a Mehretu, and when I first came down the hallway to look at this picture, it clicked with me as a Mehretu from this mark making that you would describe as incredibly varied, again, definitive, sharp, geometric angles with some washing effects, the squiggly lines, some kind of a randomness here, almost a graffiti-like quality to it, but all of it on top of this very finely detailed architectural houses, apartments, cities, buildings, and again, that's what Mehretu is known for as well. Massive scale works. This is a 6-panel piece. City scenes, stadiums, and her interpretation of the modern contemporary city with all of this spectacular and varied marking on it. In this picture here, if this was in the lobby at MoMA, it would not be out of place. For something like this to be in a hotel lobby is extraordinary, and that is thanks to the Alfonds and their willingness to collect pieces for Rollins College. It's an entire collection of contemporary art that they work with the museum to acquire, and it's up to about 500 pieces right now, and it is on display here, not only at the Alfond Inn, but the nearby Rollins College Museum of Art as well.